Hello, Jason here. No doubt, just like you, I've been super busy seeing clients. I wanted to share with you something which shows you how to take a good meeting to a great meeting to an amazing meeting in a couple of easy steps. And it's all just done with positioning in the first meeting. At the end of this video, you'll see exactly how to take it to amazing land. So first, it's the positioning. In the very first meeting, we have an agenda and we talk through how we're going to get remunerated. Now, it's all about the client, but there's one section, you don't want to be too presumptuous that people know what it's like to engage with a financial planner. So we mentioned, look, there's two ways that we get paid. The first way is if you see that there's value and you're comfortable with the value, we'll put together a terms of engagement and we'll engage, we'll do the work, you'll pay us the fee. Pretty straightforward. The second way, which is actually more important, is that we will ask you at the end of the process, if you've been happy with the work that we've done, we'll ask you 3 questions. And those questions are you happy with the work that we've done? Are you happy with the firm? And ultimately, are you happy with me and the advice that we've given? If the answer to those 3 questions is yes, what we would do is ask you to keep us in mind when you're speaking with like-minded people, and then insert what an ideal client is for you. In our case, I was saying somebody who is similarly family-focused, has a small business, and as a result, no doubt has a reasonable amount of complexity. And the reason that we do that is that in the past, what we've found is people, or many practices out there, will spend 60 odd to 70% of their time looking for new clients. We spend less than 5% of our time speaking with new clients because we spend most of our time actually servicing our clients, right? So the psychology is actually really nice. It's saying you engage with us, we're going to service you into the future. What we back into the, I suppose, I hate to use the word script, but back into what we say here is like you, everybody's busy. So what we find is if our clients help us, it allows us to actually just see all of those people who we've actually engaged with, and we can do our job properly. Does that make sense? They go, yeah, that's fine. Now, clearly, if they said no to any of those things, we wouldn't ask them to help us because clearly they're not that happy. So how do you go through this process? A good meeting is, in this case, we did the work, they were very happy, and we've presented it, signed off on the statement of advice. We're about to get paid. Here's our invoice. Everything's cool, right? So that's a good meeting. We're full engagement. Take it to a great meeting. I said, do you remember when we met, I asked you, or I mentioned that at the end of this process, we would ask you those 3 questions? Now, in this particular case, this fellow said, yeah, I actually thought of someone. It's a guy I go to the gym with, blah, 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 insert referral. We're at a great meeting. But what you could do is otherwise you just replay that if the person hasn't come up with something. And that's kind of nice. It's law of averages. Do you get someone every single time? Probably not. What we find is incredibly, we get a lot of referrals from people we haven't actually done the work with yet. The psychology is just really powerful. So we're now at a great meeting. We've got our referral. That would have been pretty cool, right? I've done my statement of advice. Here's my invoice. Now I've got a red hot referral to go and see this, terrific couple with lots of complexity and all the rest of it. And I know they've already been screened, so that's nice. How do we get to an amazing meeting? At that point, that's where you have your extra card, if you're sensible, and you'll get a testimonial. How do you position the testimonial? It's pretty easy. I actually said, look, I'm really pleased. Thank you so much, with the referral and all the rest of it, the work we've done. And I'll just use words like this. I'll say, look, it's really tough for people to have that leap of faith, to get that feeling of comfort that you've got right at the moment. And one of the ways that we've found that helps with that is testimonials. I was just wondering, would you be open if I actually positioned it for you, so I'll make it as easy as possible, appreciate that you're busy. If I send you something, would it be possible that you would consider a testimonial? He said, absolutely. I said, well, I really appreciate that, etc. So now let's have a look at the testimonial. Okay, so here are our questions. And what I've said here is, instead of just saying, hey, could you give me a testimonial? And then it's, look, anything could come back. People generally stay really high level, way too high level. I wanted this to be a little bit more specific because I knew in this case we'd done a really good job. So what you can see here is I've got our little positioning statement, but thereafter you can see I'm actually making it super easy for them to say, look, what would you like to reflect on? And in this case, as you can see, I've got 5 key points, right? What that did was that gave this person a very simple structure to respond and give us effectively the information that counts, that genuinely other people will go, wow, that's really good. So let's look at the response. And what you can see here is it was absolutely bang on. It was covering all of those areas. Now, it's in this client's prose, not me. I haven't written it, so it's genuine. Of course, I'm getting sign off and an authorization from the client. But this is actually really good because I had asked specifically about the net wealth effect. That's good having a number. So on our website, I can actually highlight those certain sections in bold, but it just makes it a lot more punchy, a lot more meaningful. And what happened from this was I then refined it and went back and got a final sign off from that client. So that's how you go from a good meeting to a great meeting to an amazing meeting. Why don't you consider it and give it a go yourself?